Okay, y'all, it is time to start doing workouts again. So, first things first, I'm gonna have us start off with like some butt kicks to get some like good energy flowing. And then I'm gonna go into the fire hydrants because like we don't, again, like as the days go on, we get less and less cardio. So I still want us to get just a little bit more blood flowing before we get into our stretches. Just to be on the safe side, because I don't know if you're older or if you're younger and you need just a little bit more before you get started on your stretches. So I just always aim for the middle, where there's just a little bit more, before like going on in the legs before we start doing everything. So uh yep. So here we go. Butt kicks. And this is a minute, so it's not too bad. It'll definitely get everything flowing. Halfway there. Don't you love going for a jog like as soon as you wake up? 10 seconds. All right, y'all. Time for our middle splits, like cardio stretches. 10 on each side. Good job. Now we're just gonna do a couple of donkey kicks, squared away. Good job, y'all. Okay. Now, a couple of side plies. And if you need any balance, you can always put your hand on your knee and then pull your leg back, just to make sure that the exercise, right, is still focused on stretching the groin area. So making sure that this is relatively flat. Good job, y'all. And now, one more thing, getting into our squatting position, hands out, lift up the bum, hands to the ground, and using your elbows to separate your legs. Good, almost like you're going into a crow. And now, we're just gonna go ahead and do some open chair leg extensions. All right, left leg. So up for about 4 or 5 seconds, and then down for like 2 seconds, 3 seconds. I prefer 2 seconds, so just a little bit of relaxation, and then down. So now we're moving on to our right leg. Remember, no flinging your leg, because you will hurt your knee. And I am just a yoga person. I am not a doctor. So please don't go crazy with it. All right, y'all. So we got some side lunges. And after this, we're going to go ahead, drink some water. All right, y'all, side lunge. Enough to engage the quads, and then we come back up. And this is for a minute. So y'all are past the halfway point. 10 seconds actually. All right. And we're done. All right, y'all. Get yourself some water, a towel. Didn't realize 30 seconds was that fast. Oh my God. I went and sprinkled some water on the towel, and 30 seconds lasts the longest when you're doing them butt kicks or like kick crunches. Minute be long. Soon as you're doing something not exercising, you know what I'm saying? Whole thing just gone. Okay, we're going to do calf raises. And I'm just going to put the camera over here next to this beautiful, beautiful garden. Okay. So let's get started. I missed 5 seconds apparently, so let's spread our toes and just slowly rise up to engage. So not too much time on the ground. More time in the air in arched position. All right, y'all, less than half the time. All right, y'all, hold it. Good job. All right, now we're gonna do some good old leg swings to the right. And remember to stay in control of your leg swings. You don't want to hurt yourself. You just want to get some blood flowing and a little bit of stretching in your leg. And done. Left leg. Awesome. All right, so we're going to do a dynamic left leg stretch, including a block. All right, y'all, let's get it. 1 minute. I like putting my heel in the block because it's better than the ground. And with dynamic left leg stretches, we always want to come up a little bit. We want to get a good stretch in. But we don't want to stay there. We want to do a little, small little rest. All right, y'all. Time for the right side. And this, I just like it because I could just feel where I'm a bit stiff at. And we could just slowly work into that. By leaning over and then engaging the squat for the stretch. So awesome. So now we're going to do standing half forward fold. So hip hinge or anterior pelvic tilt. Remember to tilt back so that you can engage your hamstrings. And you don't have to lock your knees. Good job, y'all. No locking of the knees. Anterior pelvic tilt. Tilt back. And bend forward. Good job, y'all. Look at you. All right. So we're gonna do our kneeling lunges. Yay! So y'all know what time it is? It's a splits day. You know, when we do our little hip flexies, we're going into a splits. But then again, every day is splits day over here. So I have y'all do that so you're not scared of it. Not scared of the splits. Because I know that can happen. We get scared of these positions. All right, y'all. Hope you have your yoga blocks by now so you can get deeper stretches in. All right. How does that feel? How does that feel? Lean back. Make sure to keep yourself in a box position. Good job. Curl those toes. And then up. Hold that. Hold it. And then push down through the hip. Good job. Now we're going to the right side. knee and heel squared away. Everything facing this way. We stretch our hip flexor. If anything, you want to pull back with your leg, like I'm scooching this leg back, not breaking the square. If you break the square, you need to just scoot up a little bit forward. Curl those toes up. Oops. This is why I need my block here. But up, hold it. Press down. There we go. Good job. Y'all, the weather is crazy humid, even without clouds. And then again, it might just be because I'm indoors. Like my whole door open and everything. My whole door open and my air purifier is on. Like, y'all, that's kind of crazy. That must mean like the wind or something like that. Everything kind of stiff. But yeah, y'all, we gonna do stretches on the wall, foot on the wall. Good job. And then we're gonna bring our other foot up. And let's get started. Point. And if you feel any type of pain or anything, like in your knee, you need to scoot closer to the wall. And after this, we'll take a little 30 seconds and we'll drink some water. Yay. By the way, you're almost there. Good. So in about 30 seconds, we're gonna go into our downward dog position. All right, y'all. Whole ponytail came out. That's crazy. Oh yeah, all right, let's get it. Y'all, I love relaxing. All right, y'all, downward dog. So square away And then we're gonna lift up through our hips, curl the toes, lift up through the hips. Fantastic. Great downward dog starting. Then we're gonna go ahead and just hold this position, y'all. All right, 5 seconds. Great, y'all. Man, I could have sworn we already did the kneeling lunge. We did, but we're going in again. All right. It is what it is. If anything, I'll just have y'all do runner. So, nice and squared away. And we're going to just poke out our chest and get into runner. For me, like I said, I don't care too much for your elbows touching the ground and all of that. I just want you to come to the side and push your chest forward. To really sit here and engage here and here. If anything, curling the toes and really engaging this area here. Good job. Now we're going to do the right side. All right. Facing forward. Chest out. Good job. Hands on the ground, chest out. Good job. Now you can curl your toes and come into a full runner lunge. Make sure to breathe. Breathe into your muscles. Good job. All right. Kneeling, left leg, hamstring. First, I'm gonna open the door, which will probably give y'all a little bit more time to actually get into the position. All right. Kneeling, hamstring, left leg. No locking your knee. Oh yeah, I never drank any water during that. Fantastic, y'all. And like I said, you can use a support block if you want to for this. You would just put it on your side like this to support your weight if your knee's not doing it, because some days it just don't be doing it. So now we're gonna actually get into the exercise. But yeah, hands coming down, forward, now locking your knee. Thanks. All right, I'm gonna have us just come up for a little bit, walk forward, and then go back down into the stretch. Good job. Not much time, probably about 2 seconds, you're done. Love doing that. Cold towel on the back of the neck will do it. Okay, right leg, everyone. Heel into block. Coming down with our arms. Moving forward. Pulling those toes back. Arms stretching out. Fantastic, y'all. So we just gonna lean forward a little bit to relax that hamstring, go right back in. Good. And we're done. Next is our supine hamstring. Let's get it. All right. No blocks, but we will be using our resistance band to help us keep up our leg, or you don't have to. It's also good to just build that up on your own too, so that is an option. All right, y'all. Oops, I done pulled the wrong leg. Oh well, we'll be doing both of them anyway. Sorry. My bad, I was just looking at the camera. Battery's low, so gotta make sure that don't cut out. All right, y'all, other leg. I'm gonna have to put this bad boy on the charger. All right, y'all, half time. All right, y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and get into our splits. So 1 minute each side. So left leg and then right leg. So, well, actually right leg and then left leg because we just got through pulling on our left leg. So heel into block, and then we're gonna stretch back with our other leg to go into a full splits position, and then just go ahead and hold that for me. Take a good couple breaths. Good job, y'all. Fantastic. And then we're going to get into our left. Heel into block. And then we're gonna go ahead and get our other block. And we're gonna do a little scoochy, 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 scoochy. Scooch all the way back. Fantastic. Breathe. Fantastic. And just, if you can, pull back on our other leg. Ooh, y'all, fantastic. Getting a real good stretch in today. That was great. So now we're going to go into a middle fold. So yeah, today, wide leg forward fold. I know, right? So we're gonna put our two blocks in front of us and our two legs down on the ground. Fantastic. Mm. 30 seconds. Fantastic. Thank y'all so much for participating in all three of our splits activities. So the last thing I'm gonna have you do is to do some what do they call it, like a little king pigeon of sorts. So we're gonna turn our leg outward like this, and we're actually gonna go ahead and try and get into a king pigeon. So you want to take a block and put it up under your leg, wherever you need the support, and then sit on the block in your king pigeon pose. So we're gonna do that for a little minute. Fantastic. And we're gonna do the same thing with the other leg. Block up under the hip. Straighten this leg out, and then go into our pigeon pose. Fantastic, y'all. So it's just basically wanting to turn the leg in and out for that turnout. So that's really good for turnout. It's just the king pigeon pose. So yeah, thank you guys for joining today. Told y'all I was gonna do this a bit earlier. Woohoo! Bye.